See what it does. It's live. Okay.
So there are going to be other people on there if they pop in that we can't see, correct?
I think
because you're on YouTube, they're going to just pop in.
Yeah, let's see what happens here.
I think if you went to the YouTube link of this, you could see who's watching it. Or no, not necessarily who's watching it, unless they start to chat in the YouTube chat.
That's a lot like Ustream, yeah.
Yeah, I can see if somebody chats in there.
Yeah, that drives me nuts on Ustream, where there's 400 people watching, but there's only 12 talking, and you know, and I'm one of them, and I'm wondering who the other 389 are. You know, like is. Ooh.
This one. Okay, so am I live still? Yep, live. And the link.
Okay, our image is definitely frozen now. Well, mine is, but that's expected, I guess.
Okay, guys, I'll be right back in a few minutes.
Okay, our image is live again. Not be much to say about that. You throw that out there. Said this is Jupiter Live. You got your Io and Europa out there, and Yanni and Callisto, and it's so clouded here. You can't even. I don't. I'm not even sure. Tom, you can see the moon burning through the clouds. I'd have to go check. I don't know if you're still here, Tom. Tom?
Yeah, he's here, my call.
Okay. Now, he posted this nice shot of Halifax in the sun today. You know, like, bite me. You know?
I sent you a picture, George, a messenger to see the parts.
What's the name of the lobster? Clearwater Lobster Pound. Is that right? Are they still around? And correct me if I'm wrong. You're not a lobster eater. Man, it's like living in Texas and not liking beef.
Very little red meat, too.
All right, right now we're 25 Fahrenheit. That's not too bad, all because there's no wind. I just can't wait till Wednesday, Thursday. If we get 8 inches of snow, and then all this blows Tom's way, he's going to get another foot or two. See if we can beat his last year's record. You know, that 7-foot snowdrift you had on your window. You couldn't see out your window for what, 2 months?
Almost, yeah, till middle of April before it receded beyond the window. But we got no snow here now. Cape Breton, different story.
I remember, well, it's going on 2 years now, when my swimming pool blew up, and it was 10 tons of ice in it, right? And a guy's coming around, he's looking, it's going to cost $13,000 to fix all this shit. We're mowing the lawn in May. around the pool, and yet you walk up the steps, lift a sheet, it's like a body bag, and you can see there was still a ton of ice, 6 inches thick on the bottom. Jesus Christ. I swear the ice melted like a day before they came and tore it all apart and rebuilt it. That was horrible. And it was actually an El Nino type year like this, where it rained, warm rain the night before. It was Easter weekend, and then it dropped to like minus 20 Celsius with 100-kilometer winds. And the next morning, when I looked out my window, well, you can think about it, right? It was just total glaciation. The pool burst because with the wind rocking 10 tons of ice on the pool cover back and forth, punching the sides, it burst, and then the ice, there's water underneath that ice, like about, I'm not going to, well, it's supposed to be 22 inches, but as with the rain and snow it got up, there was still like a foot or so of liquid water. When that ran away, the ice just sank, and it was like Titanic action all down the sides. It was sad, and of course, it took everything because it's on a pool cover that's tied down. It took everything with it. It was not pretty. Tom, they're thinking of bringing photo radar back to Toronto. Hopefully not Ontario. Just another reason to avoid Toronto. Could you imagine the tax money they could make? Like, technically, the speed limit on the 401 highway is 100 kilometers an hour. That's like 60 miles an hour. And nobody goes less than 120. So they set a photo radar machine, and it's 100,000 cars and trucks per hour. Just do the math. Let's see, 20 kilometers over the limit. I think that's $100 in Canada. So $100 times 100,000 cars. Let's see, $10 million an hour in revenue.
I don't think y'all should have any financial woes with that.
Oh my God. Yeah, right. Jesus Christ.
George, I just sent you a pic of the disassembled Sammy to your Facebook Messenger.
Okay, wait. Oh shoot! I closed that.
Looks like we're still broadcasting.
Yeah, that's a live.
It is on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's a live. Oh yeah, we're supposed to behave on audio in case.
Watch the profanity.
If I saw some of the moons, I would speak and say something about them because there is some kind of an interesting technical thing, because the two moons on the bottom right are like 1.7 to 2 million miles out, and the two on the upper left are only 250 to 400,000 miles out. But the angle means that Gani and Callisto are either kind of out our way. It's just a oblique perspective thing, because they all look like they're at the same distance from Jupiter, but they're definitely not. No way. All right, let me go to Facebook. See what Tom sent me here.
With the language rules, I mean, your own imposition is fine, but per YouTube, I mean, they could care less as long as you're not, I guess, like racist or, trying to start, become the next Hitler or something. But
like Donald Trump.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Tom.
Delete that.
Tom, you see that ring? That's my base metal ring that goes into the body. There is a black plastic piece that's about almost 5 centimeters, 5 centimeters, 5 millimeters thick. Once it's threaded, it threads into that silver piece.
Yeah, okay, George. Then I don't have it because that's
Yeah. Okay. No.
I took
No.
it all apart there, and that's the only parts that were there.
And no. I see
So here
exactly
you
what
guys
you
can
got
see
there.
the moons, right?
Uh-huh. Wait, let me get back to,
Sorry, man.
oh boy, where am I? Oh no.
You're on
Okay.
Earth.
No, I don't know where I am right now.
You're here.
Trust me, you're on Earth.
No, I'm not. I'm closing. Am I still here?
No.
Okay, wait. Google Hangouts. Okay. There. That was my point. There. On that view, the first moon up left of Jupiter, 250,000 miles away, just like our moon, and the same size as our moon, Io, nicely covered with pure elemental sulfur. I mean, what are the odds of that? And just out of that, above that, is good old Europa. That's 400,000 miles away, almost twice as far as Io, and about the same size. And Europa being icy and watery, very reflective, but yet not quite as bright as Io. That sulfur active surface just seems to be a little, I don't know. So in this view, these guys are like they're not that close. Like one of them is heckin' gone, the other side, you know, coming or going. Like let's see, wait, in this view, because it's got it flipped, wait a minute. It would be, yeah, it could be either inbound or outbound. Same with Io. Down on the bottom, Gany, the big one, Ganymede, and Callisto, the fainter one. They're both, 1.7 to 2 million miles out, or 1.5 million, 2 million miles out. That, I'm not sure which way they're headed as well, but uh, they're 1.5 to 2 million miles out, and they are about 1.5 times the size of our moon.
So that's the max brightness right there that I can get in video.
Yeah, and you brought out. Actually, you know what you brought out? See that? That's actually a star, I think. You see where Io and Europa are, and then
Up at the top, yeah.
and then you kind of go up a bit. That's a Mag 10 star that I mentioned like way back when I first fired up the thing, and I said, "Oh, look, there's a star there." That's Mag 10. So if you were to hit Saturn right now, you would pick up Titan, Dion, and with this view, Titan, Dion, and then that would be it, because then you'd be struggling with that grainy background. I think.
Right. Let me show you guys the photo mode, the difference here. In terms of like a live view for planets, that video mode is really probably the best thing. This is the photo mode. See how it's a little bit cleaner, but things kind of don't show up. Now you can up this a little bit higher. So that star up there kind of pops in and out, I think.
Well, now that I kind of know where to look at, but you've got other like little artifacts that are like popping in, and
yeah,
it's hard to say. It's hard to say where it is. Like, I mean, if it persisted, that's what you look for in all the flashing, right?
Right. So check this out.
Okay, we're not on mic anywhere, are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on YouTube there, George.
Oh, hello. Hello, folks. Just saying. I'm George.
So that Mag 10 star.
Now, what did you just do? Did you just flip the image there?
No, I just took a exposure.
Okay, because
That longer one. See what we get.
the Lone Star was like Mag 10, and the moons are sort of Mag 5, 6, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and that star persists. But when you did that one view, that star was up to the right. That star was up to the right. So you've.
I think in that last picture you had there, Curtis, there's 2 stars now. One to the left with the 2 moons, and one up to the upper right corner.
Right here.
That is true. Whoa.
A little bit of delay here. You guys are. So that's the difference between the. I don't know this mode and the other mode.
Photo and video. Yeah, I think. Oh boy, I have to flip this left right. Ganymede and Io are coming. Actually, I think they're coming around. Like they're going to sort of cross the face of Jupiter, and Io and Europa are going to go diving behind it.
There's that star up there again.
Wait a minute.
That's pretty clear. You're right. That's there.
Yeah, that's the Mag 10 star. Think about that. You know, you're this far from. Well, you yeah, we keep using Pluto as a Mag 14 reference that nobody can 100% say there it is, right?
You just got to take the time.
Well, think Neptune. Neptune is Mag 8 plus. So, you know, if you just randomly pointed this into the area of Uranus or Neptune, I have no clue where it is in your sky right now. Pisces somewhere. You know, you'd be able to say that dot that doesn't belong in the rest of the field is it, right? And you use that plate solving thing, astrometrics, right? Probably. I
just use Sky Safari. That's what I use.
I just star hop like I said. I that's why I like to bring up my view and then my wide field camera view, and then you kind of go okay, align them, and then.
So what do you guys think of that? That's ISO 12,800.
I'm just wondering if you're starting to get, honest to God, pixel hits from.
Yeah.
You know, at that ISO, you're starting to get, and you know that right now there's a little bit of a heavy load of solar radiation particles.
Yeah, but that's on the other side of the Earth right now.
That should be true.
Some of
that
them
should be true. Even yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Even for you, that's true. I'm just thinking it's coming around on this side.
I mean, some of the charged ones will follow the magnetic fields, but
yeah. Well, yeah. That's what I was going to say. Don't think it stops them. Just like the South Atlantic anomaly. Which, by the way, reminds me, I was going to go to ISS Live, but it's too late. It's too late now. It's getting sunrise there, but there are radiation particles because you are picking up. You know, something has to fire. Curtis, something has to fire those pixels, right? It has to say. It has to.
Well, it probably is a read error from the gain. I have the gain all the way up.
That's plausible.
So you just put it down to 6400, it cleans right up.
That's better. Try 3200 and a little slower, and it'll probably. I'm just looking at the circle, the outside of Jupiter for sharpness. Yeah, see, that's like she's. And I don't know where you're controlling. Yeah, okay, so you're doing that. The brightness. Oh, okay, you're just doing the shutter.
Yep. I don't know if you can see at the top right. That's the battery. It's lasting pretty long.
The
On the
top right.
battery.
Oh, okay. You got a bar and a half left.
Mine
Yeah.
didn't last long at all tonight, Curtis, there when it was minus 10 Celsius. They died pretty quick.
Oh yeah,
Where's
that'll
that?
do it.
Where's that?
Here in Nova Scotia.
Oh, you're minus 10 right now.
Yeah, it was cold. I almost got frostbitten.
I. What did I say? We were okay. We're minus 6, I think. Okay.
I should have
It's just
dressed a
not.
little warmer.
It's just. Well, that was the Toronto station, and I don't dare reach over to the remote because I have to share this room with the marital department and the big screen TV that you can hear in the background and the fireplace. So
George goes out in his sandals. I go up in my slippers.
same thing, only different. Except Crystal doesn't like me wearing socks with my sandals. I'm going. You know what? When it's minus 10, minus 15 out there, you're just gonna slip them on and tiptoe out there, tiptoe back. It's no big deal. Um, which is why for her I did that. Step out on when it snowed on that carpet, just put my footprints in there, and I tiptoed right back pretty quick. That got cold real quick, just because it was all juicy cold carpet under that snow, right? Ugh.
I'll tell you one thing
February.
though, George, with the Ioptron mount, I didn't have any of the bogging down that I had with the Celestron and Mead mount. It worked actually pretty good for minus 10.
Yeah, that's probably has to do with the kind of a
The
lubricant.
grease, yeah.
I worry about these two AVXs. Like I said, both of them have been back to California and back, and
George, you probably need to change the lubricant in those.
they're
Yes, I got a tube
they're
of super
brand new.
lube here
They're
for them.
absolutely brand new. Like they've only
Yeah,
Remember,
but
George,
I mean, if
Sympaglu,
you've done any
Sympaglu.
engineering, cold water engineering, the
what
lubricant is
what
very, very important.
Jared brought me a full, like a full tube of whatever he uses up there in Bob Cajun,
Okay.
and he just said, "Do this," and
Yeah.
and so I said, "All right, we're gonna wait," and summer is different, of course, right?
Yeah.
But I said, I'm not, when he comes down, I'll load that into the gun and then say, look, we'll take it apart, and you do what you think, because how do you get the old stuff off? You have to.
Isopropyl alcohol, George.
Yep.
Yeah, well, see, and it's either that or, I just invert the air can and just blast the shit off.
No, just freeze it.
And then, yes and no. Like
You're
you could
talking about the
blast.
CO2 cans?
Yeah, well, the air cans, and canned
Yeah.
air, and then, of course, you pop. And I said, all right, and then just goop it on, because these AVXs they're stiff. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And I said, if you're stiff at 75 degrees, and I put you out at 10 degrees Fahrenheit,
Yeah. Forget it.
or 20, I've got enough burnt motor smell, which is why one machine went back. See, that's the problem. You get two AVX mounts sitting here. Well, one here and one upstairs. And there were always one here and one in the shop. One here and one in the shop. For
Yeah, that's
some,
one of the big things when I've done like stuff like cold temperature, like liquid nitrogen, liquid helium. You have a valve in there, and people don't unless you're using the right materials, the right lubricants, you can get you bound up really, really quickly.
Wait, you got to play with liquid helium, right?
Yeah.
Does have you got had a scenario, and I know they have the little cone-shaped containers for that reason, where the liquid helium actually crawls up the wall?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Really? Okay, cool. Look, see, you're the second person I've only ever met that's seen that. I was at the University of Waterloo lab, but I was not permitted in the cryogenic lab. But my colleague was, and he said you should see this. I said, "Oh, I'd love to." Where if all the containers, they have that cone at the top, right?
Right, right.
They're conical, and he said especially the liquid helium. He said it would actually crawl up the side of the container under certain conditions, which and it kind of makes sense. Surface tension. It weighs nothing, right? You could pick up a barrel of liquid helium with one hand, and
Yeah, it's fun being a physics guy. You get to play with a lot of things. Other people don't, for some reason. I don't know.
Well, yeah, when you have access to the labs, when you have the keys to the lab, Curtis. Oh boy, and
I'm in danger.
no, but better judgment prevails sometimes. I mean, life lessons teach you things, and then better judgment prevails.
Let's see who's on. Anyone's on the YouTube. It says 0 watching. That's good. But at least it's recorded, so somebody can they can come watch and see that I actually.
Wait. When you say recorded, does that mean the audio as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
But I can go.
When I'm on this channel, George, I can hear you talk.
I won't tell you. Then I'll save the.
I can go back and edit or delete the whole thing.
My Union Carbide lab, boo boo. Trying to make nitromethane. trying to make nitromethane, and and I made methyl nitrate instead. Exactly the same molecular layout, except two molecules are flipped. And oh boy, oh boy, I tell you light that under a fume hood. Ooh boy. I bet you've never shattered a explosion-proof fume hood window, have you, Curtis?
No.
Well, okay. Well, see, you only want to do that once, but that's called a life lesson, and it wasn't. Oh boy! Until
see, the thing about explosion-proof is that it's there to contain the explosion. Right?
Exactly. It's not that it's not going to. That's all it did. It's sort of like your windshield cracks, which Tom probably knows, but. It wasn't until I went to work for Dow Chemical, and I had to work for the senior plant chemist, Sarnia. What was Steve Kuhn, and I kind of once you got to a friendly level, I just said I kind of did this. What did I do wrong? I was trying to make methyl nitrate for my car, and he said. Right off the bat, these were the days that you could actually smoke in a laboratory at Dow Chemical. Think about this, right? And he quickly just whipped it out, he said, "Oh, it's easy, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, you dumped in some methyl nitrate, like windshield washer fluid, and at that heat, you made methyl nitrate instead of nitromethane, exactly the same chemical formula, just an isomer like flipped, and and by the way, the acid sensitizes it to ignition, which we kind of found out the hard way. Oh man, that was something. I learned a lot from Dow Chemical. This guy was, oh man, I don't know where. I know he's got to be dead now, but oh man.
Fun times, George. Yeah, so I got this Revolution imager here. I haven't used it yet. The new camera, I haven't used it that much. Um, I gotta figure out how I'm
Revolution.
gonna reduce it, because there's this reducer that comes with it, and I'm not too sure about if I need that. Um, I
Well,
want to
right.
broadcast with that sometime soon, because it's just kind of sitting around. Although I'm so used to this wireless thing, wirelessly
Night,
right
Jeff.
now. It's kind of nice not having to drag out that USB cable all the way out there.
Let's see. How can you? Oh boy, if you can find a contrast brightness setting, because here's the problem with Jupiter right now. We got a very symmetrical Jupiter, and it's kind of hard to say other than, hey, we got north on the right and south band on the left, 80,000 miles wide. If you could bring the moons out and still leave some semblance of Jupiter, that would be cool. See, that's, yeah. It's almost like you got to say, all right, there's really nothing spectacular there. What you do see is those moons moving over 15, 20 minutes. That's Io and Europa up on the left from the inside out. Ganymede and Callisto are, okay.
Connected. Who knows? Maybe the camera died.